Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time here, if you enjoy this video, hit like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to be talking a little bit today about tools and techniques we can use to put in perspective the things that happen to us, why things happen to us, and what we can do to create more balance and grounding in our life, so that the things that occur that send us out of balance lessen and lessen. And so, how can I make my life better? Feelings of being overwhelmed, disconnected, fearful, defeated. There's some of the symptoms we can experience when we're passing through these emotional storms that we go through. And the storms usually indicate suppressed emotional energy that needs to be cleared and balanced. When we're in the middle of life events that are kind of making us feel so disconnected from happiness and joy, there are a few things we need to begin to stop and ask ourselves in the moment, rather than just pushing down what we're feeling. We need to stop and say to ourselves, what do I need to learn from this? What can I learn from this? How can this help me grow beyond my self-imposed limits? How can I transform this situation? What can I do to empower myself in this situation so that I'm not feeling like I have no control? And more deeply, what do I believe about the world, the people in it, and what I'm worthy of? Is this a safe world for you? Can you trust people not to hurt you? Do you think you're worthy of happiness, of abundance? Or do you have blockages that keep you from holding the truth that you are love, that you are loving, that you are worthy of a well-lived life? Is that in there for you? Do you feel like it's too late for you? So delving into our shade, I'd like to call that shade. A lot of people use the term darkness, and that's not what I see at all. People that have a lot of damage, that do shadow work, are actually delving into their shadows, and shadows have shade. They're not dark. I've never seen a dark, true darkness in people doing shadow work. And so that's like a whole different aspect of spirituality. So when I ask that, I always use the word shade, because as I see it, it's more representative of what it authentically is. So delving into our shade helps us answer those questions, and it puts us in touch with the more negative aspects of what we believe about ourselves and why. And that's really important, because we can't heal something if we don't know that it's there, or if we don't know what it is. So those hard questions, especially at this time of these quantum leaps forward energetically that we're taking, we've got to heal. It's no longer a question of, do you feel like doing it? We've got to begin or finish these processes. And it's not about staying positive all the time. I believe in positive reinforcement. I believe in positive mantra. I believe in positive thinking. But it's not about feeling positive all the time. It's about allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling when you're feeling it, not getting stuck in any of those emotions. And so understanding the imbalances within us and the damage that attracts this energy into our spaces, it's really important, as far as I'm concerned, that we keep a positive outlook and a positive attitude about it. Because if there's one thing that we've learned, it's that no place we have ever been Nothing we've ever experienced, whether it's horrible or amazingly wonderful, has remained. We go through seasons, we go through stages, we go through phases. So whenever we get stuck in especially in negative space, it's really important to remember it's not going to be like this forever. I'm going to get past this. My survival rate for getting past stuff is 100% up until now, and that's not going to change. So working with the law of attraction, I think, is really helpful, or at least understanding what it is, because we all live by the law of attraction, whether we know what it is or not, whether we fully believe in it or not. It's one of the universal laws, and like simply put, it's the ability to attract into our lives whatever we're focusing on. The power of our mind translates whatever's in our thoughts and materializes them into reality. Thoughts are powerful things. And when combined with focus and emotion, thoughts are powerful magic that can affect our reality in a good way or in a bad way. The thoughts that pass through our mind, they're responsible for almost everything that happens in our lives. And so occasionally thoughts don't necessarily affect our lives, this thought here and there, but repetitive thoughts that stem from negative beliefs about ourselves, they strongly influence our outlook, our attitude, our actions, our reactions, and they change the vibration that shapes our reality, as do positive thoughts. So use your imagination to visualize a perfect scene of whatever you want to accomplish. Get creative. Give these imaginings details, colors, sounds. Repeat these visualizations often with attention, with the belief that it's going to come true, with emotion. Your subconscious mind will accept these mental scenes as real experiences because it does not distinguish between real and imaginary experiences. I feel like if you could just play around with that for about 2 weeks, just start, pick 2 things that you'd like to accomplish, or you'd like to see, or you'd like to have, and begin imagining them, creating them, feeling emotional about them, allowing for them to take place, and then step aside, because a lot of times when we're manifesting, we don't get it quite right. And so I will give you an example. I had to go to the doctor for a test. And I was having a hard time walking. And I said to the universe, please get me a closer parking spot to the doctor's office building. And I turned in, and sure enough, right there inside the parking garage was handicap parking space. I zipped right in there. I hobbled over to the doctor. I got my test. And I had to come back 2 days later for the results. And so on the way there, I said, universe, I want to manifest another one of those close parking spots. And I visualized it being right where I parked the 2 days prior. So I got there. It was packed. There was no place to park. And I was so disappointed when I went past my little parking spot I had had 2 days prior, and there was no room for me. So I went around. It was going up, and I thought, this is too far up for me. I'm never going to be able to make it to hobble over to my doctor's office from this parking structure. And I happened to look down and I saw they were doing valet parking at the next doctor's office building over from the one that I had to go to. So I'm like, that's the universe helping me out there. So I drove over there. I waited in line and I pulled up and I told the nice young man, I'd like you to park my car for me. And he said, does that back window of your truck roll all the way up? And I said, no, it stays down about this far. And he said, well, I'm sorry that I can't park it for you. And I said, what are you saying to me? And he said, it's part of our insurance policy. We can't, if all the windows don't roll all the way up, we can't park it. I got so mad. I was so mad. I was more mad at the universe than I was mad at him. And I said, oh, great. You know, like this is his fault. I said, oh, great. Now, how am I supposed to get to my doctor? I can't go to see my doctor. There's no place for me to park. I can't walk. And he's like, calm down. He said, why don't you just go park over there? Make sure you lock your doors. We won't have your truck towed. I'll keep an eye on it. Just go park it over there. And I was like, yeah, thanks a lot. And I was grumbling all the way to where he told me to park. I got out of my car. I slammed the door. I was mad. And I started walking toward the door, and then I stopped. And I realized he had me park like 3 steps from the door that I needed to go in. And I was just so mad that it hadn't worked out the way I had imagined it, that I didn't even notice that I got actually more than I could imagine manifesting. I never imagined that I would just be allowed to just pull up right in front of the front door and just go in. And so a lot of times, because we have limited imagination, because we're not so good at it, we don't leave room for the extenuating degree with which the universe manifests what we're asking for. And so get creative, give them details, repeat those visualizations. They will be accepted as real experiences. So we've got vibrational connections to the people and the events in our lives, to our problems, to our failures, to our successes. Knowing what shapes our beliefs about ourselves empowers us to provide a clarity that allows us to manifest a life of choice. It gives us the opportunity to make peace with those shades within us that I talked about. So learn what we can learn and let go of the past. What did it have to teach me? Thank you for the lesson, and now I'm sending it into the light. So the problems we had in the past, the choices we made in the past, they do not have to define or inform us here and now as we infuse vibration into the future by the energy that we choose to attract today. So what can we do? Mantras for positive thinking. We can repeat, my life is good. I am the light. All is well right here, right now. This thought is a choice. I'm replacing it with the truth that I am, than whatever you're replacing it with. I set my intentions for happiness. I set my intentions for health and for healing. I set my intentions to vibrate at a higher frequency today. And then if anything happens during the day, you bring that mantra up and start all over again. Reset your intentions. We don't have to live in the places that we used to live. We don't have to live in the places that hurt us. We don't have to keep the energy with us of the people that hurt us, the events that hurt us. And I've got to tell you, I know I've said this before, but not forgiving the past events of our lives, not forgiving ourselves for the blame that we took on for the things that happened to us, even if we're blameless. Not forgiving doesn't matter, doesn't touch, doesn't hurt the people that have harmed us. It hurts us. Holding on to all of that junk, it fills us up with low vibration, and it's time to get rid of it, to make room for these new vibrations, these higher vibrations that these quantum waves of transformation are bringing in. And we're getting stuck. We have days where we're feeling elated, then days we're feeling exhausted, days we feel hopeful, then days it's such a roller coaster ride. And it doesn't have to be. There are some tools that we can use. There's some things that we can do to get ourselves clear, to get ourselves balanced, and to get ourselves grounded. And I will put some of those tools in the comments section here. I also have a lot of classroom content if anyone's interested. I'll put information in the comment section about how to obtain that as well. So I hope this was helpful. I wish you light and I wish you love, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.